What's happening, YouTube? Owen here from Dark Entertainment, the place to hear tales from Wales and afar. If you're into creepy stories donated to us by people like yourselves, then feel free to like and subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Now, let's get into the video. First off, let me start by saying a big thank you to all my new subscribers, and also to those of you who have been carrying this channel. It's a miracle some of you don't get a hernia. This may only be a bit of a hobby for me, one which I thoroughly enjoy, but you guys are the ones that make it. I'm especially thankful for everyone providing me with stories now, and I will be getting round to them. I've got a bit of a backlog. Which brings me to my next point. Towards the end of October and the start of November, around Halloween time, I will be doing a talk inland of fields themselves. You can find episode 1 and 2 in the links above. But I will also be filming, and if anyone would like to join, you are more than welcome. I'll be conducting somewhat of an amateur investigation to see if I can get a response, much to my girlfriend's delight. I'd love for some of you to join me. I'll be bringing you more details about this closer to the time. But currently, I am looking at the 27th or 28th of October. If you'd be interested in this, please let me know in the comments. So, during my recent training, I managed to take the afternoon off to accompany my father and brother to Tankfest in Bovington. I'd highly recommend it for anyone interested in tank history from World War I until the present day. However, don't make the same mistake as I did. I ended up looking like a roasted lobster in a bed of seaweed. Second-degree burns are so unbecoming for a festively plump specimen like myself. I genuinely felt like John Travolta in Face Off. But enough of that. You want stories. On the way down to Bovington, we spent the night at the Swan Inn Hotel in Sturminster Newton, a quaint market town not far from Sherborne. The town has been around for hundreds of years, with its own castle, and was even mentioned in the Domesday manuscript. Now, onto the pub. The pub has been around since medieval times, but had to be rebuilt in 1729 due to a fire which ravaged the town 8 years earlier. It is a very rich history, albeit a very strange one. There is a comprehensive document online detailing the various landlords who have occupied the premises. And what I will say is that there are many drunken arrests made at the pub. For some reason, several of the arrests are made because patrons attempted to carry their drunken brethren around by their noses. An example of this: one arrest made in 1882 details a disagreement between John Crowley and Robert Ridout, in which Crowley fell out with Ridout over the payment of the beer. During the heated argument, Crowley punched Ridout in the side of the head before threatening to pull out his f***ing nose. It is unclear what Ridout said in return, but safe to say it must have been something along the lines of, "My good man, do you not recall that I purchased our beverage of choice shortly before you relieved your delicate needs around the back of this fine establishment?" Or more likely, Piss off, you drank yours. Either way, whatever the statement was, Crowley wasn't buying it, since he then proceeded to insert his fingers up Ridout's nose and forcibly lead him out into the street, earning him a fine of 9 shillings and 6 pence. Just for clarity, that's the equivalent of approximately £35 in today's money. A bargain in anyone's money, if you ask me. I'd pay that just to drag one of my friends around like a prize Lancashire bull for 20 minutes. But now on to the ghosts. I hadn't expected to do research whilst on a family holiday, but we had a strange occurrence on the way to the pub. We were driving down a country road at 11 o'clock at night when my father suddenly slowed. We had both seen the same thing at the same time. On a slight grass verge was the figure of a man in a hood. He was completely in the dark, in the middle of nowhere, and only came into view when the car headlights illuminated him. We couldn't see his face because his head was bowed, but he was wearing some form of hoodie, all in black, with black trousers. His arms hung limply by his side. This prompted my father to ask the bar staff when we arrived. They stated that the figure had been seen on the road into town for several years. They believed that it was the spirit of one of the many people who have perished on the A357. A cursory glance on Google highlights a large number of deaths on the road, and many calls for new safety measures to be put into place by the residents in the area. Safe to say, this was quite a creepy revelation, but also opened the conversation up for other ghostly occurrences in the pub itself. One incident happened that very same day. The girls behind the bar informed us that during their shifts they would frequently have glass or plastic pitchers thrown to the ground within the washroom area. One particular day, one of the pitchers smashed directly behind one of them, and on another shift, one member of the staff felt a heavy hand land on their shoulder. When she span around, there was no one behind her. The pub advertises that it's animal friendly, so customers bring their dogs into the pub with them. But now and again, the dogs refuse to cross the threshold and remain growling and snarling at a point at the end of the bar. This is possibly due to a spectre that is referred to as George by the staff, a man in a suit who is seen in the main stairwell up to the guest rooms. He appears as either a dark shadow or a translucent figure with an angry look on his face. Before we arrived at the pub, however, the two women behind the bar had explained that they had been sitting outside when the bolt of the gate next to them had slid back in front of their eyes. They watched as the gate opened, closed, and had the bolt slid back into place, leaving them staring wide-eyed at each other in disbelief. Now, I will say that I did have somewhat of a restless night at the Swan Inn, but that was mainly due to my sleeping companions, since we were all in the same room. Apparently, though, in the periods where I could drift off, I made up for it by returning the favour. Anyway, that's all from us here at Dark Entertainment. We hope you've enjoyed the episode, and if so, please leave us a like and subscribe to the channel. It all helps the YouTube algorithm. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter, and on Facebook. And if you have a dark story of your own, please feel free to contact our email at dark_entertainment@outlook.com to discuss telling your tale. And remember, stay dark, stay creepy, and always laugh. Ta-ta!